video is for me. I want to make this video for me. Today is Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year, and I thought it'd be a good time to use this as a personal reflection to see how far I've gone in life over the last few years. 5 years ago, I was overweight, balding, unattractive, very smart, but not very confident. I was working at a bank. Actually, it was my first corporate gig at a bank, and luck wasn't on my side. I had a very arrogant boss, experienced workplace bullying, and a lot of bad things happened from there. I developed depression. I developed workplace anxiety. Every day was a day full of torture and unhappiness. I remember walking down the street on a bright sunny day, but what I saw and what I felt were two different things. Like outside, it looked like a beautiful day, but inside, I was sort of walking dead. And considering how far I went from that point, where at that point in life, I've actually considered suicide. I had no girlfriend. Money wasn't tight, but at that point, it didn't mean anything for me. Money wasn't even the money I made at the job that I hated. Wasn't even for me. It was just to put on a show so that other people wouldn't look down on me. So I was sort of working for other people. Like everyone works for somebody else, or most people do. Unless you're an entrepreneur and you work for yourself. And even then, you work for your clients. Right? And this is too hot. I thought I'd look better in the hat, but it's not. And I didn't shave today. So for those of you wondering, yeah, I shaved my head bald. I've learned to accept my baldness. And I'll probably retake this video again later, but I want to get everything out of my mind. Because I've worked hard, but it wasn't overnight. Success doesn't come overnight. Over the last few years, I've started getting fit, my confidence started improving, I even got married. Now I went from a virgin to having a very pretty, very caring wife. Something I wouldn't say not necessarily dreamed of. I always knew that I was going to be successful. I knew I wasn't going to be stuck anywhere forever. I knew I was going to make progress. I just didn't know when I would make it. I gave myself deadlines, and time over time, I've always disappointed myself and extended those deadlines. But I've always managed to reach my goal. And for the goals I haven't reached yet, it's just because I've extended those deadlines just a bit more. So I want to tell myself, right, that you have a lot to be happy for. You started off as someone who was not confident, always doubting yourself, to being much more confident, much more attractive. When you walk into the room now, instead of looking down at your feet, you stand and you look out straight. You demand attention. You demand respect. And people start to give you that. And recently, I found myself doing something I've never done before, which is asking for a promotion at work. I've always been, I would say I didn't have, no, yeah, I would say I didn't have the confidence to ask for a promotion at work. So I would always give myself the raise, give myself the promotion by looking elsewhere. Because I think the very act of asking was more burdensome on my self-image than it was to start off from a fresh slate and pretend to be something you're not, and hoping someone can take you at your word for it. And that's what I want to say. Today is Chinese New Year. It's my first Lunar New Year with my wife, and honestly, I've never celebrated it. And I just think that I need to take the time to reflect back from where I started and where I end up and where I'm going. I've been through some tough times, and that probably isn't even the worst, right? I think in life it goes up and down, and I will go through hardship in the future. But what I've learned in the past through all those, I would say, rough times, have gave me the experience and confidence I need to tackle the future. And if things go south again, and they probably will, because I don't plan on, let's just say, staying still. I plan on moving. And when you're moving, you have a direction in mind, but it's never going to be perfect. You're going to have some up and down. But the rough times in the past is going to, I have learned from it, and I can use those same principles to move forward. And what I've learned from those tough times or unhappy times is persistence. And buy your time. Sometimes you just can't move too fast. Sometimes the steps in front of you is just not yet available. You're not ready to take those steps, right? Take the time to build up your foundation. Take the time to get yourself ready to be prepared. You know, opportunity is not always going to be staring you in the face. Sometimes opportunities pop up when you least expect it. So sometimes you just have to be patient and wait for the opportunity. Or, I wouldn't say wait for the opportunity, but you're searching for the opportunity. Take proactive action to search. Because you just sit at home and wait, nothing is going to happen. But as long as you take your time and are actively making progress each day and actively doing something, those little steps will one day add up to major changes. And even though it might not be in the right direction, it's probably going to end up, you're probably going to end up in a better place, further along the lines of success, right? It's important to try and learn from your mistakes or learn from your experience. Not everything that has happened is a mistake. Sometimes experience is the best teacher, also the most expensive teacher.